Okay, so I am going to end up canceling class on the 28th. I had kind of initially planned to cancel class on the 28th and then hold class on the 21st. And then I had a conference that I needed to go to on the 21st. So I reached out to my department head, and he's basically gave me approval to cancel one more class. So, on one hand, like, I hate to miss another class. I feel like, this kind of makes it kind of a hybrid class, which of course it technically is in the schedule, or in the book or whatever of classes. But I don't like the idea in an 8 week term missing two sessions, especially two sessions back to back. But I've kind of cleared it with my boss, and I've provided you with the materials. So what I thought I would do is kind of give you a walkthrough of what you need to be doing, and where you need to be by the time we have our next class, which is on October 5th. So again, let me underscore, no class on the 28th. I am, of course, available by email if you have any particular questions. I'll send out a kind of a group email as well, telling everybody that there's no class on Saturday. And I may even share this video as well there. Anyway, so let me kind of go through kind of what you're going to see. Notice I have this in student preview, so you're seeing like what's on the screen is actually what you're going to see, right? And there will actually be, I haven't posted it yet because I want to wait and link this video. There'll be an announcement about the canceling of class on the 28th. And then it'll have this video linked to it as well. That will be in the announcements section. So with the exception of that one change, what you'll see when you log in, of course, an announcement about week 5 and 6 materials. So you can go ahead and start thinking ahead. We're coming towards the end of the harvest term. So you want to be thinking about getting all your assignments in, as well as a couple of bonus, pieces of information. But for the most part, that's it. Then go to course documents and resources, right? So you go to the course documents. You should have looked at week 4 already. That was what should have been done in lieu of class today, or not today, yesterday. Today's Sunday, whatever day of the week this is. So you should have already done that. Of course, there's some lecture videos, right? So you click on the lecture videos that kind of takes you through some of the aspects of it, as well as kind of an implications of the move west, a bonus point opportunity, the textbooks, some primary documents, some other kind of information, as well as week 4 videos that kind of provide resources to kind of help develop your understanding of what's going on. So that was from week 4. So hopefully you looked at that, right? Going into week 5, since we're not going to have class next week, kind of set up the same way. First off, you can pull up the PowerPoint and see it there, right? So the PowerPoint's available. You can also, if you go to lecture videos, there's 4 lecture videos that are right here. Those take you through kind of the foundation of the reform movements, as well as kind of the Civil War, kind of give you an idea about what's happening there. So listen to the lectures. That, of course, is, I think, probably one of the more important aspects. I do have a series of supplemental videos that kind of flesh out a little bit, just like I have every other week, that kind of go into some other aspects of this particular theme. I kept the Sojourner's Truth, Ain't I a Woman, out away from that because it's just amazing, and I think you should watch it. I was hoping that if I didn't bury it in the week 5 videos that you would notice it. Anyways, then I also have a series of primary documents. I actually have a ton of primary documents here. These right here come from that textbook. They're primary documents that are from Stanton and Anthony, as well as kind of an article about reform in the Civil War. And kind of how women were fighting in the Civil War. But then the rest of these are all a series of primary documents, most of them coming from the American YOP, with the exception, I think, of the Declaration of Sentiments. So you can kind of look through those. And several of these I refer to in the course of the lecture, so you want to familiarize yourself. The American YOP textbook, if you're wanting to know, I did make a note in Chapter 9, Democracy in America, that they have a special section about the Peggy Eaton affair. And I'm not sure that I mentioned that when I was talking about kind of the the Manifest Destiny part and Andrew Jackson. But anyways, just calling your attention to it. There's a women's suffrage timeline I linked, an article about Amelia Bloomer, just a variety of things that are kind of flesh out your understanding about the Reform Society. And then if you go back to, like, I do have week 6 as far as the PowerPoint and the chapter, as well as a series of primary documents, and some information about the 14th and 15th Amendment, and then some week 6 videos that kind of deepen your understanding, particularly this one right here, How Southern Socialites Rewrote the Civil War History, or this one about the birth of the KKK. So any one of these are good to listen to. But technically, you don't really have to do that just yet. Week 6 is for October 5th. We will have class October 5th, so you can save some of that. But if you're trying to kind of work ahead, if you're one of those people, which I would be one of those people that would be trying to get as much done ahead of time as possible, you can go ahead and start doing a little bit of work on that. I am probably going to post, and I haven't decided yet what that's going to look like. I am going to post a bonus point opportunity that kind of asks you to kind of make conclusions from all this information. It's kind of my way of checking to see if you've participated in learning for this particular section. So you'll be looking for that. That'll be a new addition as well. At least new in the context of, it's not showing up here in the video. So that kind of shows you all the different course documents, kind of the pace of the week. Again, we will meet next on October 5th, no class on September 28th. Then if you go to assignments, right? The exam, I have created the exam. The exam is short answer. It is basically 5 questions that ask kind of a broad question, and then gives you like 3 to 4 documents where you kind of are supposed to answer the question based on that. So that's kind of the way it looks. It should release on October 5th, so I should be able to go over it with you in class. So for now, don't worry about the exam. It's coming up. You'll have a week to do it. It's fine. You do have your essays. Essays are posted. Right. Notice the optional essay for 12 Years a Slave. If you're somebody that, because there's been some confusion going from a 15-week to an 8-week and changing from 5 essays to 4. If somehow you missed that first essay or something like that, or if you had an essay that you were like, oh my gosh, I forgot to do it, or I did really bad on it, which I don't think anyone has done bad on their essays. But for some reason, if you want to do that, you can watch the movie 12 Years a Slave, and you can analyze it, particularly in relation to the women, the Mistress Epps, the Mistress Ford, and Patsy. You can look at it from that perspective. So that is an option to get some bonus points if you want. But I also have Essay 3, which is not due till September 27th. Explain how women participated in the revolutionary changes of the first half of the 1800s. So you can answer that. And if you're wanting to kind of get ahead, Essay 4 is not due till October 4th. Analyze how different groups of women imagined the United States from 1840 to 1860, including women's roles, right? So we can talk about that when we have class on the 5th. Again, the deadline says October 4th. Really, we all know it's not going to be graded on the 5th. You probably have through that weekend. So you guys hopefully by now have figured out that as long as it's within a day or 2, I'm not stressed about it being late. The big thing that I don't want is somebody turning in 4 essays to me the last week of class. That I don't want. But if you're a couple of days late, that's more than fine. So that kind of takes you through the essays. The other thing that I wanted to show you was the document analysis portfolio. I've had a few people ask me questions about this. Basically, you use the template. You can make 5 different copies of the template and do 5 of them, or you can just kind of copy them over and over. It's up to you, and kind of put it all in one document or have 5 different documents. But essentially what you're doing is going to the primary documents and analyzing 5 of them. you pick 5 from the American Yop Reader, chapters 1 through 15. I don't care which ones. You pick the ones that you care about. Every single week, right, had a huge list of primary documents that you could look at. So you can pick any one of those 5 or whatever. And analyze what those mean, right? There's key questions. This is real simple. Each one is worth 5 points. It's basically it's almost like a worksheet, except I am going to look at it for critical thinking. I am going to make sure that you're thinking about the historical context of the document and kind of putting it in relation to what all is happening around it. That's what I'm trying to get you to do. So that kind of takes you through the assignment. So really, document analysis portfolio, this would be a great time to get that done. I don't think it's due till October 6th, but since we don't have class on Saturday, great way for you to get that knocked out. Essays, you can go and look at that as well as the deadlines. Exam, we'll talk about that in class, so that's not a problem. And then if you look at the course documents, just kind of follow along. Again, you should have already looked at week 4 for September 28th. You should be looking at week 5, and then we will have class on week 6, which is reconstruction. And we'll kind of use that as kind of an overflow. I'm thinking week 7 is going to be kind of work at home, where you can kind of do the assignment at home, so we don't actually have class on the 7th. So anyways, just kind of wanted to make sure everyone's on the same page. If you have any questions, please let me know. I think that kind of covers everything. Participation activities, like I said, I am going to post something that has to do with the reform movements. Oh gosh, I have a bunch of unread posts. I better get grading, huh? So anyways, that'll be posted there, but I think I'll also put a course link under that particular week's documents. That seems to help people find them a little bit better, so I'll be posting a course link there to kind of take you to that. So I think that's it. So again, let me reiterate, no class on the 28th. If you need me by email, I'm there. You have the materials to essentially self-run the class for you. And then we'll get back together on October 5th. So come prepared with lots of questions and let's discuss what's going on. So jot down questions that you have so we can answer them and kind of have a dynamic discussion. I'll try to have kind of a backup activity maybe, I think, for October 5th. So again, thank you for being understanding, and thank you for being a great group of students. If you have any questions, let me know, and work hard, study hard. If you need anything, just holler at me, and that's it. All right. Thank you. Have a wonderful week.